Hello again, module number 5, the design aspect. And here in this model, I'll focus on the Dreamweaver as our editor for our pages. So let's start. And again, launch the Dreamweaver. I'm sure that you saw that list. I'm sure that if you use Dreamweaver, this is the template that usually embedded. And as you can see, they have already embedded templates that are easy to use. So you can employ blank template, but also you can use the type of pages you want to create. And so in this case, it will appear as a new page, and you will be able to set it up in a base of, is it dynamic, not dynamic, template page or not, and so on. One of the things that's really important is that you will have a full control of the property of the page itself. And so you'll be able to say page property, and you will be able to have, example, the font the font that you're using for the page, the size, the color, the background, or the image. In order for you to do that, you can also have links, and you can color the links based on your favorite colors or visited links and so on. So play with it, try to understand what is it entail. And again, the property alignment, like you have it in Microsoft Office product, the same thing that Dreamweaver allowed us to do. And again, the issue of selecting font, this is something that for some is very important, to others is not, but it is part of your design that you need to decide what font best match to your design or to the content that you want to display. Headings, again, like Word in Office, the same thing that you can apply. You can also insert tables and be able to save as, or insert images, and be able to do all those things. In order for you to do that, again, I lay out for you what you can do and how to apply that and to enable to do that. So again, one of the things that I would like to see from now on your main page is that you will have some structure. What does it mean, structure or design structure? It means that, example in this case, not in the aspect of Dreamweaver, but the aspect of the design itself, where you can have, for example, all the month of the year. So this is the menu that allows the user to see what you have done. So in this case, they have two types, and you have the ability to highlight in text, or you can create it in images, like in this case, the task or the process or the evaluation is an image that link you to the specific folders that you want to create. And again, one of the things that is really nice in Dreamweaver is the ability to see preview in a browser, real browser, and to explore this idea, what is it entail. The HTML code, this is how you see the HTML code, this is how you apply it, and see, again, look at the code itself. Don't look only the design, look at the code itself, see what you can find, and see what it will apply. One of the things that I don't like about Dreamweaver is that it set up a website for you, and then it allowed you to use its application to upload those files to the website. There is the issue of synchronicity of those files. Is those files equal? Is those files the same as what you have in your desktop matches to what you have in your website? And this is important. And they don't do this synchronization all the time. And this is something that I am concerned. But again, this is something up to you to decide how do you want to have the website set for you and apply that. In the previous first video, I talked about introduction to PHP. And again, I want to emphasize again that you can write your PHP code in Dreamweaver, because the PHP code that we learn in this class is embedded into the HTML. However, the page with the PHP code must have PHP extension and not HTML or HTML extension. So you need to save it as PHP. And so example, index.php. And so it is the idea of how to run it on the server side and how to apply that. So what is the extension? The extension that allowed us to communicate with the server in order for us to get a response. As you can see, when you write a code in Dreamweaver or any other application, you will not see the effect. The effect, you will need to upload the file into the server in order for you to do that. So again, this is the idea of starting. You start with a regular HTML code and you set up the code, and this is where you're going to see the PHP. I already inserted some pages, and again, the Dreamweaver will not allow you to do that. But what the Dreamweaver will allow you to do is coloring the code. What does it mean? In this case, the PHP is colored, and the idea of the echo round is just a simple code that I'm using to illustrate that. So I can have a PHP code and I can have a JavaScript code again in the same page in order for me to run it. One of the things that is really nice about PHP, we can have a PHP test or clean, a PHP tester online that you can test your code. So in this case, he already started with a PHP, and so in this case, I'm going to apply what I have written in my Dreamweaver. And so in this case, it will test it, and he will come back to me and say, hey, your code is okay, or your code is not okay. So in this case, I'm going to run it on the browser itself, and it will tell me if I'm wrong or right. So in this case, everything seems to break. There is no break, there is no problems, and you can click to test the scene. And in this case, it will come back to me because in the background of this page, there is a browser that supports PHP. So everything looks good, and in this case, I can also do JavaScript tester, and again, he will do the same thing with regard to my code. And this is something that I want you to get used to when you're writing your code in JavaScript or in PHP. And again, execute, and he will say, hey, your JavaScript has problems. What is the problem? Usually, in this case, he will ask, my script is saying JavaScript PHP and not JavaScript. So again, this is the beauty of the script, the testing mechanism that we have in order for us to validate what we have and to do at least some ability to control what we have. So use your resources, use whatever you can to verify and to make sure that there are compliances, they support each other, and be able to do that. Again, Dreamweaver is not the perfect platform for me, but maybe for you, some of you would like to use it because of its transparency with the design and the code itself. I outline how to upload. If you are using the Dreamweaver as your FTP, you can do that online with Dreamweaver. Not my cup of tea, but it's up to you to decide. You are the one who needs to work with that. So this is my short demonstration of Dreamweaver and PHP. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learned something. And again, please ask questions if you have so. Until next time, have fun.